if you don't want to hear anything about politics and current events, I suggest you click off this video right now. Yo, everybody doing? King Dingbat here, and I hope everybody's having a good Friday so far. It's about 6:15 in the morning. I've been up since 3 a.m. And if you don't want to hear too much about politics, if you don't want to really hear about current events and what's going on, I suggest click off this video. I'll give you 5 seconds, all right? Give 5 seconds as I get ready to smoke this stogie, because we're gonna talk some politics today, because I don't have a choice. Okay, this is something that's been eating up at me for days. Something I just have to come on here and say, This is supposed to be a sports channel, I get it. And rarely, very rarely will you hear me talk politics. Very rarely. Because it's divisive, and no matter what you say, you're going to have people who are arguing and fighting with you, and I don't like it. Sports brings people together. Politics is divisive. But I have to go there today. I got no choice. It's weighing on me. So I'm gonna like this. If you don't want to hear it, I suggest click off now, because we're getting into this mother humper. Whew. This is not how I want to smoke a stogie talking about this. Come on, give me this. It's not lit good enough. But I got no choice. This has been weighing on me for days. And look, no matter what I say here, there are going to be those that agree with parts, disagree with parts, disagree with the whole thing, agree with the whole thing. It's the way it is. Okay, but sometimes you got to take a stand. You got to let people know where you stand. And the one thing I'm never afraid to do is let people know where I'm standing. And I don't write things down. I don't come up with a list. I speak from the heart. That's why sometimes I say things make no sense, because it's all on the spot. It's all right there, full emotion, and my heart's into it at the moment. I give you guys the raw feelings. And that's what I'm doing in this video, because the whole thing and everything that's going on with George Floyd and all this stuff is crazy. It's insane. And there's so many parts to this whole thing. And there's so many other things going on. And trying to sort this out and put it all together is ridiculously hard. Okay, it's very hard. First and foremost, George Floyd was murdered. Premeditated murder. Those cops should be arrested. They should go to jail for life. They could get the death penalty for all I care. Those cops premeditatedly killed him. They killed him because he's a black man, and they abused him. And that's the way it is. That's it. The tape shows everything. And why they are not arrested pisses me off to no end. It pisses me off. It pisses everybody off. And why are they waiting? Okay, but this is part of the problem. Okay, yeah, there are racist cops out there, and they get away with murder, and the system allows these people to grow and to get into positions of power because they protect them. Okay, and what's the way you fix this? It's probably, and I may have a lot of people disagree with me when I get into that, but he was murdered. He was killed. They should be arrested. Why we're waiting, what the investigation is, I have no idea. It's bullshit. Okay? And that's what people are pissed off about. That's what people are protesting about. And they have every right. They have every right. Now, I'm going to say this. I think going and destroying property, destroying businesses, doing those things is not cool. It's not cool. However, I understand why people are pissed off. I get it. Okay, I get it. And when they're there and they're around surrounding the precincts, I get that. I get that more. Destroying businesses and looting, to me, that's taking it too far. And I have some real questions about who's doing the looting and who's starting it. Okay, the videos I've watched look like they were cops, some of them. Okay, but that's just the truth. Cops, different provocateurs, provocative groups, Antifa. I mean, this is what they do. Okay, George Floyd was murdered. Those cops should be in jail. That's all I know. And why they're not is why people are pissed. They're pissed. And I'm not a black man. I'm a white dude. I don't know what they go through. I don't know how they feel. I can't know it. I'm white. I can tell you from personal experience, I know what it's like to deal with cops. I've dealt with good cops. I've dealt with bad cops. I've had a cop pistol whip me in the back of my head. I had another cop stick a gun to my head like this, pushing really, really hard. I swear to God, I thought he was going to pull the trigger. Call me all sorts of names. I've been thrown down the ground. I've been arrested for crossing the street. And then right before the trial, they come and they search my car looking to plant evidence on me, which I fought. They brought in more canine units and stuff like that, and I was recording, so they couldn't plant. But I've had issues with them. And I'm a white guy, so I can only imagine what black people go through. When they say, the cops are racist and they're treated unfairly, I agree with them. I believe it. And I'm with them on that. And that's why I support them when they want to change, the whole institution of the police and things like that. Because the truth of the matter is, police are given unfairly, they're given so much power. They're given the ability that they can go to court and they get the benefit of the doubt. They get the benefit of the doubt and they're corrupt as shit. And then I hear these people on Fox News and all these other places, well, it's only a few people at the FBI that are really bad. The most of the people are really good, but the higher ups are bad. Bullshit. How do we know they're all bad? They all could be bad for all we know. Now, I'm not saying they all are, because there's got to be good ones. I know good cops, but a lot of them are corrupt. And the truth of the matter is, the way I see this thing getting solved is, here's the thing. When you have a group like the police that have all that power and all that corruption, they are going to attract people who are racists. They are going to attract people who are power hungry. They are going to attract shitheads and scumbags and degenerates to those fields, because they know they can come in and do what they want and get away with it. It's the same principles if you go look at Child Protective Services. Why is there so many pedophiles in Child Protective Services? Because its system is corrupt. There's corrupt systems. Now, how do you fix it? That's a big question, and we can get into that another time. I'll say this. I am a believer in liberty. I believe in freedom. I believe in individual liberty. I don't believe you're put in a group. Hey, you're white, so you go here. You're black, so you go here. You're this religion, you're that religion. And then somehow, because you belong to a group, you get your rights. I don't believe that. You get your rights because you're an individual, okay? And you don't get your rights because the Constitution says you get your rights. You get your rights because God gave them to you. The Constitution only is to reaffirm that. But I'm a believer in liberty, okay? I believe all people are created equal, and I deal with people on individuality. That's how I deal with you. If you're a good person, if you're a great person, I like you. I like the individual. I don't judge groups, okay? And these institutions, some of the people they attract, because they give so much power and they're corrupt at their core, they corrupt people who like corruption, who feed off of it, okay? This cop was charged 18 different times with offenses. One Democrat senator, I forget her name, real hard face to look at, right? I don't know, what the hell's her name again? Call her Coffee Cake because her face is disgusting. But she didn't charge him. And here's the problem that I see, right? When I talk about what the real problem at the core is, I believe it's statism. It's the power of the state. It's the power of the police. And both sides, Republicans, Democrats, they both love it. They love it. 2-3 weeks ago, let's be honest, 2-3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago, everybody on the left was yelling for the police to go and arrest people if you didn't have one of these on. Go arrest people for not having this. What the fuck? Okay? But, then you get the Republicans that are like, well, the cops are good and we got to give them power. We got to militarize them. Bullshit. Both parties They love it. They love this. They love this whole thing. This is feeding right into the agenda of elites. They want us divided. They want us hating each other. They want you to see CNN reporter get arrested on camera. You see him get arrested on camera this morning? He got arrested. They wanted that out there because it pisses people off and it divides us. Okay? Then you have people who are provocateurs looting. These people who are looting, some of them aren't the people from that neighborhood. They're clearly not. I watched this guy with a black umbrella just banging out windows. Some white guy, most likely a police officer, okay? I suggest go look at some history of guys that are carrying black umbrellas causing havoc and being provocateurs, okay? They want us divided because people see on TV, see the looting, see that, then they get mad at the people in those neighborhoods. When it's not them, it's people being shipped in to do it. Okay, all this stuff. Okay, George Floyd's death is horrendous and it's a murder. And they use it to their advantage to divide us, to get us hating each other. And I refuse to hate anybody. I refuse to buy into it. I refuse to go there. Those cops need to go get arrested. Give them the death penalty. I don't give two shits. You want to change the state? You want to change the police? You want to get rid of this discusses? You got to give freedom back to the people. To the people. You have to take the police's power away. Police shouldn't get the benefit of doubt. Police should only be able to use force that is an equal force being used against them. No more, no less. And they should be able to be held accountable. And they should be able to be sued. And these are the things that have to happen. The power, the tyrannical government is the problem. And they keep us divided. That's my opinion, okay? And corruption and evil is going to attract racists. It's going to attract liars, thieves. These are the people that get attracted to these offices because they can get away with it. And we let it happen. And we got to stop. Every 365 days of the year, I'm against the police state. I'm against the tyranny. I'm fighting against it. I hate it. Okay? Then one event happens and everybody gets really pissed off, which they should. George Floyd's death is horrible. It's horrendous. And look, even the looting and all that stuff is not as bad as this man getting killed. That's the worst thing to happen. Okay? But if you let this event happen and then you go back to the same tyranny and the same powers of the police to do the same thing, it's just going to happen again. It's just going to happen again. The truth of the matter is you got to take power away from the police and return it to the people. That's the only way. Too much tyranny in this country, not enough liberty. And that's the things, those are the things that happen. And it's got to stop. And I'll also say this, okay? And some people may not like this, but I loved watching videos of black business owners sitting out front of their store with guns, fully loaded guns. It was a beautiful thing. If you haven't, get a gun. Defend yourself. Black guys, white guys, whoever, you should all have it. Okay? Because believe me, if somebody had a gun, when he's choking out that dude and just pointing at that guy, he has got his ass up. And he might have got arrested. Who knows what the hell is going to happen. But he would have gotten up. And the police, it's a lot harder to do and be tyrannical on somebody when they got a gun and they can fire back at you. You got to protect yourselves. And those businesses that are protecting themselves, those black businesses with those black gun owners, I think it's a beautiful thing. I support it 110%. Matter of fact, I'm a property right guy. I believe in property rights. And if somebody comes in your store and tries to loot, I think you have a right to use whatever force you need. Nobody can just come into your home or your business. That's how I feel. And I really blame the provocateurs. Probably Antifa, probably police, probably all sorts of stuff, because they want us divided. They want us divided. And that's the thing you have to remember. Election time is coming. Both sides want to divide us to control us. And that's what they're taking advantage of this situation now. They're infuriating people. They are getting people pissed off on TV. I look at Twitter. I look at some of the things people say, and they're buying right into the bullshit that they're feeding us. George Floyd died, and he was murdered. Those people need to be tried and arrested right away. And people are pissed because it's not happening. And peaceful protests, you can say, oh, it doesn't work. Yeah, you could be right. Then get armed. Get armed. That's my personal opinion. Okay? So this whole thing is horrible. I was glad to see Carson Wentz come out and say something. Zach Ertz too, but I think Carson's really going to help him as a leader of this team. And I'm just fed up with this shit, dude. And I know a lot of you guys are too. George Floyd did not deserve that. And I don't know if I'm forgetting to say something. Like I said, it's off the top of my head. But I think that if you want to say that was just a few bad cops, I don't see it that way. I don't see it. I think the whole thing is corrupt to its core. And until you take away power and you hold them responsible and start weeding some of these bad people out, things aren't going to change. You know, that the truth is you got to give people more liberty and less tyranny, less of a police state. And believe me, this thing, when this story fades and they go into something else and they're back to talking about, you arrest anybody that's not wearing one of these. That's tyranny. That's the same thing. It's under the same umbrella. We gotta address that and get rid of it. That's how I feel about it. Okay, we're all equal because we're individuals. Because you're you. There's not one you out there that's like anybody else. You are you. You're special. You're an individual, and because of that, you have rights, and nobody can take that away from you. Not even the state. That's why when the state says, "Oh, you can't go outside," you can't go outside. People want to go outside. They have a right. They have a right. You're gonna stop them? If you do, then you're using tyranny. You're using guns to enforce, and I'm against that. I'm against aggression. Anti-aggression is what I would say. I have to be totally 100% against the aggressor. But right now, you're seeing a horrible event that took place, and then you're seeing the powers that be manipulating the situation to make it worse for all of us, to make all of us get at each other's throats. So, this is not the kind of video I want to do, but it's something I have to say, What black people, our black brothers and sisters are saying, the police are abusing them more than us, and and they're having things happen that is unfair. You need to listen to them because they're not lying. It's true. With that said, take care. Talk to you later, and don't be a dingbat.